For the second time, Formula E comes motoring in the Mexican capital. Welcome to street races for the Julius Baer Mexico City E-Prix and the venue for one of the most controversial races in the sport's short history.
Pole position, Jerome D'Ambrosio with Lucas Di Grassi starting third. And we go green in Mexico City. Go, go, go! Di Grassi up the inside, and he's waited until the final lap before the pit stop window to make the move on Nico Prost and move up into second position. Go! D'Ambrosio is out in the lead. It's got fan boost as well, and he's using it now. Here comes Lucas Di Grassi.
He's on fan boost, Jerome. Pick your line, he's on fan boost.
And D'Ambrosio covers the inside line, and Di Grassi still tries to look to the inside line, so close between them. Di Grassi locks up, manages to get it stopped in time, and takes the lead of the Mexico E-Prix. Here comes Buemi up the inside. Oh, he's into the back of him. They come together.
C'est un gros malade comme il change de trajectoire.
He completely crashed into me.
D'Ambrosio under pressure. Look from the inside from Buemi. He's darting around in the mirrors. He's trying to go around the outside. Surely he cut across the track there.
He got the chicane, he got the chicane.
Buemi slowing down, D'Ambrosio's going wide, through goes Prost, and I think Buemi's trying to slow to give the place back.
Purée, je veux le laisser passer 4 fois.
What the is he doing?
He is absolutely livid, and so he goes straight over the chicane himself.
What's going on, guys? I don't understand.
And has he done it now? Yes, he has. So Buemi has let D'Ambrosio back through into that second place. Lucas Di Grassi, out through the final corner, is going to win in Mexico City. Here comes Sebastian Buemi, but D'Ambrosio is second.
But it didn't end there. Lucas Di Grassi's car found to be under the minimum weight. Di Grassi disqualified in what ultimately cost him his championship. D'Ambrosio claiming his second FE win. This year, Di Grassi is again in the hunt, lying second, but a long way behind defending champion Sebastian Buemi, who has 3 wins from 3 in his Renault Edam's car. But this weekend, there's another driver stealing the headlines as FE welcomes its newest recruit, who just so happens to be a local hero. Fresh from his time in F1, Mexico's Esteban Gutierrez makes his much-anticipated debut in FE, replacing Marcin Hua at Techeetah.
Who's Gutierrez? No, I'm just kidding.
A very talented driver. He's also a famous driver. So here in Mexico, I think we're going to have crazy fans and a lot of people in the garage, and you know, we're going to have to keep our head together.
He's a good driver. He's been at the pinnacle of motorsport for a while now. Great to welcome him into the Formula E family.
I think it's great. You know, it's a good timing, obviously, for him to join the series because he's the local hero.
And this being his home race, he's going to attract a huge crowd.
You know, for him, it's a good chance. For us, it's always good to get good drivers in the series. And for the Mexican E-Prix, there's no better driver to get the fans crazy here.
For Gutierrez to join us is a pleasure to be racing him. He has a lot of experience. He's a very good driver. He will find it hard. He has a very good car. Techeetah has a Renault drivetrain, and they proved to be very, very competitive in the last 3 races. He had a hard time racing us, but we're looking forward to racing.
I would consider Esteban to be a really quick driver, and John Eric is probably the quickest driver at the moment. He's very quick in qualifying. So I think even when they start pushing each other, they will push each other even further. So yeah, it's going to mix things up a little bit, but in a good way.
Coming from F1, I think he'll probably find it quite tough. Hope he enjoys it, and I welcome him to the championship.
I know Esteban really well, you know, and I raced with him in the past, and he's such a clever guy. And if you give him a quick car like that with a Renault powertrain, I think he's going to seriously be a contender this weekend. The crowd's going to go crazy with him, so we're going to try and upset the crowd a little bit by beating him, but we'll see how he goes.
Gutierrez is not the only big news for Formula E in what's been a busy few weeks for the sport. Time to get the official word on all that's been happening. So what's the latest with BMW and DS? The rumour is that they want their own powertrains.
I think all that is part of the game, no? So here all the manufacturers are trying to win and to get the high ground. And I think BMW is going to do a really serious challenge here in Formula E. And I think DS, they're going for their own thing, yeah. And I think all that is good news for the championship.
So, of course, Brussels was cancelled. Will this mean a double header in Berlin?
Yeah, it does. So we have 2 races in Berlin, Saturday, Sunday. They're going to be pretty cool. We have some surprise coming up for that.
And what about future races? You've had some recent visits to Shanghai, Azerbaijan. Are they perhaps future locations for a race?
We had a really good discussion with Kazakhstan actually to do a race there in Astana during the Expo. I was in Shanghai, very good meeting with the mayor there and the team that does all the other races in the track. So that's an option. And yeah, South America, we have some interesting things moving on in Brazil. So yeah, pretty cool thing. We will make it public, I think, probably for the World Council in June, but pretty good calendar with like less gaps in between races in winter.
And what can you tell us about other car manufacturers joining the series?
Well, I can't tell you what I know, obviously. But,
come on. You can tell me, I'm trustworthy.
I can tell you.
I won't tell them, I promise.
I think there's good news coming up quite soon. There were some remarks even today or yesterday from Marchione from Ferrari saying that they need to do something with Formula E. Here we are. He hasn't called me yet, but you know, maybe I call him.
So tell us a little bit about this new chassis for Season 5.
So there have been different concepts for it. Actually, some images came out of a chassis that is not the chassis. It's one of the actual ideas that was considered. But I think it's going to be a chassis that's going to be very spectacular, very futuristic. And still, there are some tweaks going on. But, you know, I think the idea is to make it public, to show it for the first time in Frankfurt at the motor show.
A lot of the changes, are these cosmetic or will they have an aerodynamic effect on the car?
Well, no, there is obviously an aerodynamic effect, and of course the main change is the battery that lasts twice, but also cosmetic is pretty cool.
So that's the latest off the track, but now back to what to expect on it this weekend. Here's the thoughts of our FE expert.
The Season 3 Championship has been about one man so far, Sebastian Welby. He's aced it. 3 races, 3 wins.
Bien joué, super job, super job.
What he's done is he's put the competition in a very difficult position. They've got to catch up not only in terms of pace, but also in championship too. He could literally stay at home this weekend and still leave Mexico City as the leader of the Formula E Championship. Just the strong competition in the championship. It seems you make one slight mistake anywhere right now and you go from the front of the field to the back. There's no make weights in there. The championship is full of great drivers, great teams, and the competition level just continues to ratchet up, and that makes the price of a mistake very, very costly.
You have a drive-through penalty, so box, please.
How is this possible?
You know, Esteban Gutierrez coming here, first Formula E race, home city, Mexico, incredibly partisan crowd. A lot of pressure on him, and the Formula E cars are not easy to drive. He hasn't done many laps at all. I don't think he's done any laps, in fact, in the Techeetah car. So it's all up against it, but he is a great driver, and I think he's got all the skill to do it, but he will be playing catch-up all weekend. So what do I expect from the race here in Mexico City this weekend? Well, the big question is who can beat Sebastian Welby? He's coming over from Monza, from doing WEC, so he's a bit up against it, you know, he's got to fly over, there's jet lag, there's all that stuff. Is that going to be an excuse for him? I don't think so. I think he's going to go out there and push straight away.
Sebastian Welby up into second place.
The Renault E-Damned guys on top form. But trust me, this championship is just closing up in terms of competition. Every week it gets harder and harder. I think it's going to be a hell of a battle. We've got a track that's been reprofiled in turn 1 to promote better racing. It's going to be a good one.
And there'll certainly be surprises if qualifying was anything to go by. The championship's top 2 both struggled, while newcomer Gutierrez finished 13th, but will in fact start 9th on the grid. That's because several drivers incurred penalties, including Abt Schaeffler's Daniel Abt, who was fastest in Superpole but relegated 17 spots for having the wrong tyre pressure. Also in trouble, third quickest Mauro Engel docked 9 places for a fault with his Venturi car. This promoted DS Virgin Racing's Jose Maria Lopez up to 2nd, just behind Oliver Turvey of Next EV, celebrating his 30th birthday with a first ever pole. Elsewhere on the grid, keep your eyes out on these two. The Faraday Future Dragon drivers almost drove each other off the track in round 3, much to the reported annoyance of team boss Jay Penske. But it's not the first time that this pair have come a little bit too close for comfort.
Racing with Loic is it's a challenge, and that's a good challenge in a good way. He's a great benchmark, and we push each other a lot.
We have a good relationship because you know, when I'm better than him, he does everything he can to beat me, and vice versa. You know, when he's better than me, I try to beat him.
Argentina, talk me through that, Loic.
I was doing my race honestly, and tried to overtake as many cars as possible. I know that you guys had a lot of fun watching it. Honestly, it was funny also to drive and to be you know, so close to each other. It's always a worry for the team, but at the end that's racing, and that's why we love it.
Oh, look at these two teammates! The two Dragon Racing Faraday Future cars.
Quick cut command then after the race.
Was it as funny for you, Jerome, or were you a little bit annoyed?
No, it was a little bit strange one because I received some information on the radio explicitly saying not to fight, to take it easy for the last couple of laps, and it was a bit of miscommunication, obviously, in the team, and that these things happen. You know, it's kind of like was one of these strange situations, but ultimately, then the fight was, you know, the fight itself with Lloyd is always good.
Here comes Duval, jinking one way, jinking the other way. D'Ambrosio locks up. These two are really larking around. So it ties up into 8. Goodness me. Jay Penske, the team boss of the Faraday Future Dragon Racing team, is going to be interested in this.
Gives them a raise.
Last year I think it was in Beijing. In Punta del Este, people didn't see it. In London, we had a good one too. And a couple of good ones, you know, in Paris. The thing is that I don't think there's many races we're not actually fighting each other. We're always there, you know, within a tent or something. So we always find ourselves fighting together, which I think is a positive thing.
Here we look at the inside. D'Ambrosio locks up. It's going to hit him. Oh my goodness me! You two boys.
Do not hit your teammate.
I'm staying clear of Jay Penske after this one. The boss of the Dragon team, you could just hear him saying in the background, calm it down. We'd rather have a third and a fifth.
We are always together on track, you know, and we are the only team which are always together on track, because then you have always one car at the front and another car more at the back, so that's makes more chances, you know, to meet over there and to be close to each other. We are sportsmen, and we want to do our best.
And I get the impression you've got a good relationship off the track. You're friends.
After Buenos Aires, you know, and I think people were all excited the next day, and we saw articles in the press and everything. And then we showed up at the airport, you know, and we just had lunch together, and people were watching us like, okay, this is weird. We thought it was a big war. No, it's two separate things, you know. You're fighting on track, and then one guy's in the front, the other guy's in the front. Next time, it's just like that. And then, you know, the next day we have to work together as a team to try to push everything forward. And then we get along, you know. I mean, we speak the same language, you know. We both speak French, and we enjoy good food, we enjoy good restaurants.
It's a relationship, you know. I'm not always. I don't think that my wife is always right, you know. And sometimes I tell her, and she doesn't the other side.
Comparing me to your wife. This is
I didn't drive this. This is you. This is you guys.
But no, it's important to have the communication, you know, and we don't do all the time things completely right, you know. That's for sure. We are human beings, but at the end, once again, the most important is the result for the team. And this is what we have to put forward, and then we do our best in the race.
So friends off the track, but once again preparing to be rivals on it. And talking of teammates, after the break, we'll find out how this new pairing are getting on. We'll be back soon. We're here in the world's 5th biggest metropolis, gearing up for the Julius Baer Mexico City E-Prix, which gets underway very shortly. But first, let's take a closer insight into Effie's newest team rivalry, the Chachita Boys. First of all, welcome to Formula E. How does it feel to now be part of the Formula E team?
It's great. It's really something very new to me. It's a completely different concept, but I'm very enthusiastic and very happy to join Chachita, a team which has a pretty good performance in the previous races, and I'm looking forward to contribute as a team to try to make it better.
Of course, Jean, you were a Formula 1 driver as well, and so what are the differences and the difficulties of changing to a Formula E car?
It's a difficult car to drive. It's heavier than Formula 1, less powerful, less downforce. The brakes are working a bit differently also. So yeah, you're right at the end of the straight line on circuits that are much more complicated, you know, much narrower with a lot of walls, bumpy, and you never really know when to brake. So it makes it a little bit tricky at the beginning, but then you quickly get used to it, especially that here in Mexico we're sharing the track with Formula 1. We only use half the track, so it's not a real typical Formula E track. So I think to start in this car for the first time in Mexico, it is the best track you can start on.
And Esteban, have you had much time in a Formula E car?
Not really. Last Sunday I did a nice tryout. So it was my first contact with the car, so it was nice, was exciting. I gotta take it very calmly and just focus on getting comfortable with the car.
And how are you two going to approach this? Is this going to be literally, are you going to think of a tactical way of working together, or will you just be finding your feet with it and working out your own style?
As soon as we start, pushing each other, it's going to be good for the team. It's going to be good for the development. I think we can be a very strong teammates, and yeah, to give some competition to the other teams.
To have a new driver such as Esteban that has proved a lot in the past, is a very quick driver. So now to have two quick drivers in the team is something quite important for the team.
And do you feel like excited about this move into Formula E as well, away from Formula 1?
Of course, it's the future of motorsports. It's where the world is going. The near future, it will be one car, and then from then on, innovation will be very, very quick. And the technology will come quickly. So I'm very excited about that. I think we can make a huge contribution to that and have a lot of fun at the same time.
Welcome to Formula E, Esteban. Welcome to Techeetah. I think we should cheers.
Sure.
Cheers.
For a good weekend.
Here's to a great weekend. So, as a reminder, it's Jean-Eric Vergne in third position with his teammate Esteban Gutierrez in ninth. Ahead of Vergne is no longer Daniel Abt, the Abt Schaeffler driver who was quickest in Super Pole thanks to a tyre pressure penalty, is now back in 18th position. So, on the front row, we have Jose Maria Lopez of DS Virgin, and in pole position, it's birthday boy Oliver Turvey for Next EV.
All 5 lights are on, and we go green in Mexico City. Good start from Oliver Turvey. Very good start as well from Jean-Eric Vergne. Can he challenge on the run down towards the first corner? Couldn't quite find the inside line, and that's going to allow Heidfeld through. Heidfeld's into third place. Are we all going to get through safely further back? Looks as though we are just about. De Grassi does a little bit of grass cutting, loses out as a result to Nico Prost as he accelerates through this long right-hander. Now we come into turn 3. Turvey leading, second for Lopez, third for Heidfeld, fourth for Vergne, fifth for Bird, sixth for, and there's an accident in there, and that is going to be Maro Engel, who's gone into the back of Lucas Di Grassi.
Massive
big lockup, and Da Costa is not getting that one stopped, is he, as he flies on at turn 1. And there's a crunch as well for Jerome D'Ambrosio. Nelson Piquet has dropped now to the back of the pack, and that's Lucas Di Grassi saying he's coming in.
Yeah, they're going to change it. This will feel like a day. He's sitting there and they've got no concept of time.
He's now rejoined the circuit on the same lap as the cars in front. And there's the attack, and through goes Buemi past Felix Rosenqvist and up into 6th position. There's the replay of Buemi.
Move.
Yeah. Is that Turvey slowing? Is that Oliver Turvey slowing down? The race leader down the start-finish straight. We're on board with Lopez, but Turvey is slowing down. There he is.
Oh, no.
From the lead of the race, Oliver Turvey has run into trouble. Lopez is waiting for his chance to go. Out he goes now. Where's Vergne coming out of the final corner? Who is going to take the lead? It's 3 abreast in the pit lane further back. He's going to just about hold it, I think, Lopez, but Vergne will be right up to speed. Here they come into the right-hander.
There you go.
Lucas Di Grassi and Jerome D'Ambrosio, are in 1st and 2nd places. They don't have to pit again, but they're a long way ahead of the rest of this queue. There is Robin Freins, and there is Sebastian Buemi down in 10th position, having been in 5th place before the pit stops. Here we go, look at this, Jean-Eric Vergne. Vergne up the inside of Lopez. They have a little bit of a rub, and Lopez holds onto the place for the moment, but he knows that's ultimately for the race lead.
Yeah.
Here comes the outside, look, he's lost it! He's lost it and he's gone! Lopez bins it at turn 1, and what a shame, and Buemi bins it with him! Incredible!
The turn 13 area.
He's made a mistake. In the wall, not quite. Vergne tries to get the inside. D'Ambrosio closed the door, but this has to be it now for Jean-Eric Vergne. He's up into 2nd place, and he has now got to sprint if he wants to take Di Grassi and win the Mexico City E-Prix.
Watch the lap times now, this is it.
3 laps to go. And here comes Nico Prost, he hits him, round goes Heidfeld, pirouetting in the stadium, and then a shunt, and the 2 teammates hit each other. Mitch Evans is caught up in all of that as well. They all get going, that's going to be a safety car, and that could clinch the race for Lucas Di Grassi. And here comes Sam Bird now, he's going to go around the outside. Can he get this one done? What a move from Sam Bird! Up into 3rd position, lovely stuff from the Englishman. Here comes Lucas Di Grassi. An early pit stop behind the safety car looked like a gamble, looked like it wasn't going to pay off, but it's victory for Di Grassi in Mexico.
Fantastic.
Great job, great management.
That to me is one of the most impressive drives. What can you say? It's just spectacular. What a race, what a day for Abt Schaeffler Audi Sport.
So a win for Di Grassi, which means he's now cut Buemi's lead to just 5 points at the top of the driver standings. As for the teams, Renault Edam's lead over Abt Schaeffler Audi Sport is now down to 31. And speaking of Renault, the manufacturer has just brought out its newest EV, which in no small part is influenced by its FE division. We went to Geneva in Switzerland to find out more from two of their most important personnel.
So this is what we're really here for, Renault Zoe eSport concept. So basically that's all the technology from Formula E into a Zoe. So the car has got two Formula E engines, one in the front, one in the back, two batteries. Each battery is working for one engine. So it's four-wheel drive, 460 HP, 3.2 seconds 0 to 100, so pretty cool car. I think Renault has been among the first, if not the first manufacturer to really decide to go to Formula E. They were also the first manufacturer to really believe in electric technology.
The third year now we are involved with them, and as a big partner they are helping us a lot in terms of technology, more and more, because we are improving this technology in a very high way. And we are quite successful.
So the inside is really cool because it's more or less the in between a Zoe and a race car. You get a dash with all the information just as on a Formula E car. Then all the lighting system is pretty cool, all the buttons. And then you get that rectangular steering wheel, which is like a sign of the new Renault designs, and it's pretty cool. It looks very futuristic. You get proper race seats. It's a real racing environment when you sit in the car. Formula E is obviously a great way to show your involvement in electric vehicles. I think also from Renault it's really something true because they've been producing EVs for a long time. They're the #1 EV suppliers in Europe. It's really something that you feel inside the company.
Now just time to get some reaction to this weekend's festivities. Jean-Eric Vergne has found a unique way to beat the traffic in this bustling city. Socialite Paris Hilton is FE's newest celebrity fan. F1's Felipe Massa leads the plaudits for his countryman's first win of the season. But last word must go to the man of the moment. Well, they say fortune favours the brave, and it certainly did for Lucas Di Grassi, who claimed the victory today here in Mexico City in the most thrilling race.